introduce the first international speakers, which is Paddy.
Thanks, Gal. I'm Paddy. I'm Anonymous. I am cacking it, to be honest with you. And when I got a phone call, my instant thought in my head was, what kind of a message have I got to give? And I was thinking about it today, and you know, I'm 18 months in 2 weeks, God willing, at a day at a time, and I always start my cheers by saying thank you to everyone in this room for keeping me clean, because I'm no longer alone. And that's where my disease of addiction took me, my using took me. I ended up in a balcony in Bow Church, 15 floors up, looking out of my balcony window. It was night time, and I was seeing all these cars, I was seeing other flats, you know, lights going off and people moving, things just were moving, and in the back of my mind it was like, I wonder where these people are going, what are they doing with their lives, and then that moment of clarity came where it was like, is this what my life's come to? And I saw a friend who I used to use with, he got clean, he was 2 years clean, he took me to my first meeting, which was at Hoxton. I never got anything from the meeting, but what I did get was when they done the chips and they picked the white one up and they said, does anyone desire a new way of life? And as soon as I heard new way of life, I was up like a shot, because I'm really that desperate, you know. A bit of background, I grew up in Stepney where it was alright for me to take drugs, it was alright to have a spliff, it was alright to shove Charlie up your nose, it was alright to have a drink, it was alright to pop pills. And you know what, I'm going to get really honest, and if you ended up on heroin and crack, then you was a wrong un, you know, that was the reality of it, and the last 5 years of my using, I did end up on heroin and crack, you know. I ended up walking the streets and talking to myself because I was really that desperate. You know, I was really, really alone. And I was always searching for that something. You know, and coming into recovery has given me, it's, you know, again, I'm going to be honest again, I've come in here to get clean, and I've come in here to make friends, because like I said, you know, when I take drugs, I do not care about anyone. I don't care about you, I don't care about society, and I certainly don't care about my family or myself. You know, and today I'm not being controlled by drugs. Today I've got choices, you know. I'm waking up and I'm not clucking my tits off, and I'm not thinking about where my next fix is going to come from. And I guess, like, growing up as a kid, I was bullied by my father, I was picked on by teachers, picked on by other kids, and it was either that stay in and take my old man's, like, you know, take my old man's stuff and stay indoors, or go outside and look up to the other big boys in the area and that, and that's what I did, and they still sort of like, they still took the mickey out of me and they still picked on me, but, you know, I guess I still took it because I wanted to be part of something, you know, and that's what happened. I quickly got involved with cocaine. As soon as I had my first line, that was it, I was off and running, and I got into a lot of debt. I was ticking, I was knocking people. I even got a nickname called Panocamo or Panicon. Like, I'm telling you, honestly. You know, I just built this reputation of, you know, we can laugh now, but like, at the time it was like, but it was really, it is funny now, but at the time it wasn't, because where I grew up also, you know, there was two terminologies, which was, I'm not going to swear, it was be careful who you mess with and don't crap on your own doorstep, and I did both. You know, I would do anything to get my drugs. I'm backtracking here. Before I started ticking and you know, knocking people, I was working. Like, I'm a qualified cabinet maker by trade. I was making good money, and I was paying for all my drugs, and obviously they were going to give me the, you know, they were going to take me. But in the back of my mind was, I'm getting them drugs off you, and there's no way you're getting your money. And what would happen, people would turn up round my mum's and kick the crap out of me, and I would repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again. I had a big ego on me. I would try to fight 8 people with one go, even 25 geezers, sniffed up to my eyeballs, get battered, go to the hospital and get stitched up around my head and my mush, and then go straight back to the pub and looking to have more, even drinking pints of lager through a straw. People would turn up to my mum's looking for me with their money. Where my mum lives outside in Stepney, in the estate there's a dustbin where the door is, and they'd leave 9mm bullets on the side. And my attitude would be, you mug, that's just a bit of metal to me, don't you need a gun with that? I'm like, go on, jog on. And they kick the crap out of me again. And then it's like, well, you've kicked the crap out of me, you ain't getting your money now. Do you know, that was my attitude. That was my attitude. And that's and then I came into recovery, and towards the end of my using I was 34, and I made a pact with myself. 6 months before I came into recovery, I said to myself, if I don't get my life back or anything like that, I'm gonna top myself. And then 6 months later I came into the rooms and that, and I'm not alone. I'm so grateful I'm not alone, because I'll tell you something, addiction for me was a lonely existence. I ended up isolating in my flat. I never went to prison or anything like that, but I was a prisoner in my own mind, and I was a prisoner in my flat as well, because all I would do was go to work, and with my father, even though he was still giving it to me and still putting me down and saying, I don't know anything, you don't know nothing. And it was the only way I could get my drug money, because the thought terrified me going out thieving and that. I would happily, gladly thieve off my family. I even stole my mum's jewellery. And I'll never forget her face. I pawned it, and I wouldn't tell her where it was. And the irony of that is I'm not being egotistic or anything. My family's quite well off, and rather than ask for their help, I stole off my family, because the cat would have been out of the bag. And that's what I did, And I think also, when I come to meetings, when the reading says, the newcomer is the most important person at any meeting, they are. But for me, when we come into these meetings and we sit together, we're all equal. There's no high, there's no low, equal. You could be 20 years clean and still suffering. You could be 90 days clean and still suffering. Like I said, I'm coming up to 18 months, and 2 weeks ago, I wanted to use. I really wanted to use, because there's times that I can't handle my pain and my feelings. I try to fix on food, fixing on that Facebook fucking thing. Oh, sorry, I swear there. I'm sorry, that was a slip of the tongue. Really bad on Facebook. I was carrying a spare battery in me one time. I was honestly, and I lost it at the Brighton convention. And I never bought another one since, and I'll never forget where I come from, never ever forget where I come from. All I want in life is not to die a lonely man. It's as simple as that. I just want to get married, settle down, have children. I don't want the material things, I don't want money, I don't want cars, I don't want none of that. None of it at all. I want good relationships with people, good friendships. To be able to do nice things like going out for dinner, like the choices I said I spoke about. And living life on life's terms ain't easy. Sometimes I'm alright with it, sometimes I'm not. And for me, it's all about giving back as well. There's people out there who just don't get it, and it really upsets me. I've done a meeting last night, and we all went out for fellowship after. We all gone out for cigarettes, and this homeless guy come up. He was a Polish geezer. He was out of his head. He was just battered, and it really hurts me that sometimes I am powerless. That all I can do is carry a message to someone, and I can't do anything else but that. I've seen my mates, thanks girl, I've seen my mates in the street who are still at it. I've lost using friends like I used to use with, they've died because of this disease of addiction, and I mean, this ain't no joke. You know, this ain't no joke. And I've got a lot back in my life, you know. I've got, you know, when I first came back, people said to me, stick around for the miracle to happen. I think I was about 30 days when I heard that, and I'm saying, what are they talking about? I'm expecting like thunderbolts to come out of the sky and all that. Like, and now I understand what they meant, like, because I've got my life back, you know. And sometimes I can be selfish and I don't really want to help people. There's times where I'm not in that place where I can help people. And what I'm trying to say is that, you know, I have to come to meetings to get myself well first in order for me to help other people in all areas of my life as well, because if I don't carry on to do these meetings, then I'm gone anyway. I wouldn't be sitting in a room if I wasn't, would I? Do you know what I mean? And that's the reality of it, you know. Doing lots. What am I doing? One of my biggest dreams came true in recovery. I performed in a West End theatre at the Lyric. I'm going to be working with the Royal Shakespeare Company in March doing Measure for Measure. I've got a film coming up with Danny Dyer, I'm filming with that. I've got a phone call on the way down here when I come out of HMV, yeah, another addiction of mine, CDs. Not blue ones, alright. And I'll be doing like short films and that, but the best thing in recovery for me is that I can be there for my family. I mean, like, I was a troublemaker, you know, I'd go around there. I mean, I hated my father so much that I tried to kill him. I chased him with a meat cleaver, and I missed him by inches. And every time I knock on my mum's door, they're fucking, oh, I swear again, sorry, I'm so sorry, it just slips out. The chipmark's still there. My sister wouldn't even come nowhere near me, you know. As soon as she'd hear a knock on the door, she'd be straight up like a shot, and now she texts me, when you're coming round. We just sit down, eat food together as one unit, you know, and watch South Park DVDs, and yeah, it's all good. And I'm not ending on a 12-step lyric, alright? Alright, 1, yes, you're powerless, 2, restore to sanity, 3, yo, hand it over, leave it with God and watch the power, there you go.